Adrian Arnold, and I thank you so much for joining into my channel. I have to confess, today we will call this impulse spending. In order for me to be the most effective self and to be transparent to you guys, I have to be honest and share some things that are not always so great. Well, as we continue this journey of financial freedom, each of us have distinct intuitive things that make us do what we do. Some of it is learned behavior from the environment in which we were brought up in, and some is intuitive. And sometimes we have to make some changes. And everything that my mother knew, she was taught by her mom. And so generationally, some things were passed down. My mother, dearly love her, but she spends very impulsively. And so as I grew up, some of those character traits I gleaned. And some of them I realized as I became an older adult that, look, you have to change. If you go down this path, you will not obtain the things that you desire. So when it comes to impulsivity, I would see a pair of shoes. Give you an example. You know, being a resident nurse, making a lot of money, the thing is to spend. No discipline, like no temperance. I would see a pair of shoes. I'll give you an example. A pair of Enzos. They were real popular back in the day. And Macy's had Enzos on sale because this particular store was going out of business because Federated had bought them, which is riches. And so I was like, let me go see these shoes. I had bought those shoes in red, green, and taupe. These same exact shoes. Now, it was not good enough to buy one pair of shoes. I had to buy 3 pairs of shoes. Why was that? Because I had no self-control. They were already reduced clearance. They were like $60 shoes that I got for like $15. One pair was more than enough. But in my mind, I said, well, one pair, $60. I could get 3 pair for $45. You have one pair of feet, Adrian. You can only wear one pair of shoes at a time. And it was that day that I realized this is what my mom does. Oh my God, I'm turning into my mother. And I laughed because if you would go into her storage closet, you would see 20 gallons of Clorox. And she would say, well, Sean, there was 29 cents a gallon. Or you would see 40 rolls of toilet paper for 2 people that live 5 minutes from another store. So it wasn't that we didn't have the availability. Or you would see 20 rolls of paper towels in this storage facility in the backyard. And I'm like, Mom, why do we need all this stuff? And she finally broke down and she told me that as a child, they moved from place to place because my grandmother got bit by a snake when she was a little girl in the fields. And so it was hard for her to keep a job. And so the income was very difficult and they would have to move. And my mother said that she promised herself when she became an adult that she would not go without. And I think that fear and those experiences really manifested her to be the spender that she is today, because to me it felt like she was trying to make up for, you know, some things that she might have missed out on, and she was really honest about that. And I see that transference of those habits with me, and even to this day, 50 years old, and although you guys know that I'm pretty good with my money, I stumble and I fall. And so I had to be conscious and purposeful. Remember, we talked about enhanced abilities. I had to find some way to figure out how I was going to work on this impulsivity. There are 2 stores that I really love, and I'm not going to tell you the name of them because I'm not going to give them a shout out. When they start paying for my YouTube channel, then we'll give them a shout out. But went in to have some real self-control. And the reason why I'm saying this is I want you to look at your life and try to see what you can do to have some self-control when it comes to your spending. Mine happens to be with clothing. And I remember one of my professors at Augusta State University, Dr. Reeves. He was my consumer behavior professor, and he was really quiet and meek, and he had this really smirky sense of humor. You would catch it like maybe after you left the class what he meant, but he was so funny. It was hysterical. One day he said, you all are reading and learning about consumer behavior, and you're looking at it as if you're talking about someone else, but you are the people in this book that are written about. And at first I kind of got like mad. I was like, what is he talking about? I don't spend like that. And we were on the chapter about buying power and how the advertisers and the owners of these companies pull us in. I'll give you an example. You see these superstars that's driving regular cars. Now we know they're driving the luxury vehicles, but you see them driving in a regular everyday, so it will seem as though they're relatable to us. And I said, this is consumer behavior. They're marketing how we behave as it relates to how we recognize those people and how famous they are, and we want to do and be and drive like they are. And so I realize when I watch television now, there's these different songs and the music as well as the lighting in the specific stores that I go into, what they do to lure me in. And the other thing they do is they go on the internet and they see that I'm looking at a certain purse or a shirt, and then they keep clicking that. Every time I'm on something else, I keep seeing this shirt, and what they want to do is embed that into my brain and say, go and get that shirt, Adrian. And that's what happens. And if you keep seeing it, then you will end up succumbing to that and making that purchase. So I decided to unsubscribe. So I decided to unsubscribe to my two favorite stores. I unsubscribed to them. They kept popping up. It took about 10 days, but I kept unsubscribing. Then they started texting me. They're smart. And so I unsubscribed and opted out to the text. And I tell you, it is very hard to unsubscribe. You have to go all the way to the bottom of the advertisement, and it's in a little microscopic writing that says unsubscribe. And when you unsubscribe, you have to be careful because they have a set of questions that only unsubscribes for certain emails. You have to say all. You have to end that love affair, end that relationship, so you can start thinking clearly about that debt-free lifestyle that Adrian is on her journey to be debt-free. So if I can do it, you can do it too. Debt-free by learning what makes those impulses, those synapses in your brain, when those dendrites and those synapses get firing and going back and forth, that gets you excited, the adrenaline when you see the outfit, you see yourself. And that's what I do. I could see myself in that suit. Or, those earrings are adorable. I could just see myself into it. And so I'm getting sucked in by the advertisements. They're studying me. They know my age, my buying power. They know what I like. Keep bombarding me with all this stimuli to make me want to make that purchase. But now that I know, it is better to have never know than to know and not receive. So now that I know, I'm not going to receive all that stimulus. No more advertisements from those two stores. And I'm glad. It's been 2 weeks now. I haven't even thought about those items that I left in that cart, because remember, they will remind you what's in that cart. You guys, this is how they make money. And we're paying 200 to 300% markup on certain items. And even when they say it's on sale, it doesn't matter because it's been marked up. That's probably about how much it really cost anyway. I'm glad to say that I'm taking this journey seriously, and every little thing that I can do to help myself to stay focused, to stay on course, I am doing. So unsubscribing to these advertisements that you know you love, and just because they say they're going to give you 20% off if you use your card, or 30% off, and they already have a sale, don't buy it. Danger is lurking. They're trying to get you sucked back in, but you're going to stay on course. You're not going to spend. You're not going to spend. You're not going to spend. You're going to be the hero. You will do what you set out to do. Stay on course. The race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but to him that endureth unto the end. Please stay in the race with me. My fellow compadres, my fellow friends, my home girls and my home boys, come on and stay on course. My fellow home girls and home boys, my friends, my followers, you all, we're going to do this thing together. Let's stay on course. So go back, think about the stores that you really, really shop at, and go and unsubscribe to anything that could make you make an impulse purchase. Now, for those of you who have made some impulsive purchases in the last 2 or 3 days, it's nothing wrong with you picking them up, put them back in that nice little box or bag, and hurry on down back to the store and return them. Or hurry on back to FedEx or UPS and make that return. You have to do what is necessary to keep your goals and your dreams ahead of you. Remember, that shirt, you'll wear it 3 or 4 times and you'll be done with it. But being debt free with your student loan debt, that is a lifetime. That is a lifetime of gratification and of excellence. You can do it. Figure out how and why. Unsubscribe, be a big girl and big boy, and make these things happen. Today is the day. Thank you for subscribing. Click in my link and make sure that you let me know how this video has blessed you, any other videos that you may want me to publish for you, and anything else about my life, since I'm open and filleted just like you all want me. Let me know. Now, it does have to be about finances and debt freedom. Anything else is off the record. Okay? Thank you guys. You have a wonderful day. And